What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Diggs Gaming. Welcome back to Off Hunting's Gaming News. Joining me is
Sir Meliodas.
Sir Meliodas and I are back, and yeah, we all know the big news that dropped last week, but let's just talk about the other news and then we'll get to that at the end. First things first, the Cuphead TV show trailer for Netflix was released, and I gotta say, it does capture the spirit of the game. Melios, I don't know if you ever played Cuphead, but it does look very interesting, that Cuphead TV show.
No, I never played it, but I'll probably pass on it. It looks interesting, but I don't know.
Yeah, basically what Cuphead is, it takes inspiration from 1930s cartoons, and you definitely see that in the trailer, because a lot of the things you saw back in the old cartoons, you're seeing that here, and it really does look like it's going to be a lot of fun to watch for those that enjoy the game, and even those that don't play the game. It just looks like it's going to be a fun animated show. Moving on to some news about Dying Light 2. So we said that the game's gone gold. It's going to be released, not an issue. Well, there actually is an issue. The Switch version of the game has been delayed, but every other version's coming out on time. And this actually does not surprise me with the Switch version, because with the way that the Switch is compared to the other consoles and with PC, it's just not as powerful as they are. So it does make sense they would need a little more time to make sure that the game is running correctly on it.
To be fair, I wouldn't even play Dying Light on the Switch.
Yeah, I think most gamers wouldn't play it on the Switch, but still, I mean, the fact that they're still making an effort to get this game right on the Switch, I mean, that's still a good thing to have. It really is. And we are seeing a lot of these big games coming to the Switch. I mean, The Witcher 3 came to the Switch. The original Dying Light came to the Switch. So, I mean, yeah, the Switch may not be as powerful, but hey, I mean, the Switch has sold a lot of units, and it's still worth putting your games on there. You're going to sell a few copies. You already know this. All right, on to some news about Horizon Forbidden West. The story trailer was released, and oh my God, my hype for the game has just gone through the roof. I mean, it looks like it's going to be taking what the first game did and then just take it to 11. And that's absolutely amazing. Aloy absolutely looks great. The new characters look interesting. And speaking of the characters, we got the cast as well. And two names have joined it, two big names. Carrie-Anne Moss, who played Trinity on the Matrix trilogy, and Angela Bassett, who played King T'Challa's mother on Black Panther, and that plays Sergeant Grant on 911. I mean, those are two very big names that were added to the cast, and I mean, this hype for the game has just gone through the roof. It really has. And Guerrilla, they look like they have just done a great job with this game from everything that we've seen.
It looks decent, but I don't know. I didn't like the first one too much, so I'm just gonna pass on this one.
All right, on to our next bit of news, which is Sony is rumored to be set to reveal a major third-party exclusive. And Meliodas, have you heard what the rumored game could be?
No, what is it?
The next BioShock.
Well, isn't that from 2K?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen a lot of third-party developers do exclusive deals with PlayStation, with Sony, even with Nintendo. I mean, we've seen it all before. And really, that would be big if it's the next BioShock, but it is a major third-party exclusive. That's the rumor that's been going on, that they're going to set to reveal that pretty soon, actually. So
the way Sony is so, I want to say, like, the way Sony claimed their exclusives, like, it could just be a timed exclusive, but Sony will make it seem like exclusive, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. We've kept you in the waiting long enough. Let's talk about Activision being bought by Microsoft. And the first question I just have to say is, did Microsoft go too far with this purchase? I know they bought Bethesda, but this is on another level, because Activision Blizzard, they make Call of Duty, which is one of the biggest video game franchises out there right now, maybe the biggest, because you have so many people that play it. Despite the quality of the game going down, you still have a lot of people that have been buying the latest version of Call of Duty, and it really just begs the question: did they go too far?
They didn't buy Call of Duty. I'm gonna tell you what Microsoft bought. They bought Ravensoft. They bought id Software. They bought all the other studios. They don't care about COD. They want the studios that Activision let lie dormant for so long, and they're gonna wake them studios back up. So I don't think they bought it for COD because COD is gonna make money for them regardless. It's just like the other studios that Activision has yet to do anything with for years now.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft's like, they're just sitting on these studios. Let's buy them out and then get these studios.
So I actually got everybody else's opinion on this. So Paul said it would be interesting to see how they do this going forward. KB pretty much said the same thing, that it's going to be interesting how this affects new games and remakes. And JoJo basically just said about dang time. That's pretty much what he said. And this is interesting because, well, Activision Blizzard, we all know what's been going on with them. They've had really a rough year, the past year, with the lawsuit that's going on and everything else. And hopefully with Microsoft buying them, now you have a company that can actually get Activision back on track with what they have been doing, with what they had been doing for years. I mean, you're talking about every single studio had been working on COD. The only games that they had released besides COD for the last 5 years was Crash Bandicoot or a Spyro the Dragon or a Tony Hawk remake. The only new game that they have released besides Call of Duty in the last 5 years has been Crash 4, It's About Time. That's it. That is absolutely it. Everything else has been a remake. So, I mean, this is just crazy, but it could be a good thing. We just have to see what happens. Now, here's the thing. Microsoft did say that they are going to honor the deals that were set in place for games to come to PlayStation. Phil Spencer tweeted that. He said that he talked to Sony executives. So in the short term, we don't have to worry about it just yet. We know next year's COD is going to be on PlayStation. Probably the next few CODs could be on PlayStation because there's a contract in there. PlayStation had actually come out and said they expect Microsoft to honor the deals that were set in place. So
I can see that happening. Again, like I said, Microsoft didn't really buy Activision for COD, so I highly doubt they even care that it's on it's going to be on multiple systems. And again, they shouldn't, because it's going to bring them in money anyway. So
yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea really to take COD off of PlayStation because it makes so much money on PlayStation. It makes more money on PlayStation than it does on the Xbox. And for two other franchises, they also now have Crash and Spyro. There is no way you are going to make money on Crash and Spyro if you make those exclusive. There's no way. It's not going to happen because there are still people that see them as PlayStation mascots to this day, and they're only going to play them on PlayStation consoles. That's it. I know it sounds stupid to put their games on other consoles when they bought them, but you know, that's the whole truth. The fact is, people still see them as PlayStation mascots, even though they haven't been PlayStation mascots since the PlayStation 1 era. And those games sell on PlayStation. They don't sell as many on Xbox. And if you make them exclusive, I just don't think they're going to sell as well.
They might. You never know. But Microsoft already has their mascot, and it's Master Chief.
Yeah.
So, like again, I said, it's no matter what Microsoft does, it's going to bring them in money anyway. So I can see them leaving it to where Spyro and Crash, or they might not. We never know what they might do.
We really don't know. And this is not going to be completed until mid 2023. So it's going to be about a year and a half before this deal is actually fully done. That's the whole thing. But apparently after this deal is done, the CEO, Bobby Kotick, is, and sorry if I pronounced that wrong, he is going to leave Activision after this, which is probably the best news to come out of this, because people have been wanting him out since these lawsuits started happening, since all this information came out about Activision. They've been wanting him out of there, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen, but now it looks like he will be leaving Activision after this deal gets done. And Phil Spencer has said that he wants to bring back dormant franchises. So he wants those franchises that have been forgotten by Activision, he wants to bring them back. And again, when you have all those studios that Activision has, because they have a good amount of studios and they're all working on one game, that's a problem.
Ravensoft is the best one.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, the fact that you see Activision, all those studios, all those IPs that they have, and they're mainly working on one IP. That's it. That is it. Yep. And you just got to think, what the heck happened to Activision? What the heck happened to them? Now, I want to talk about the PlayStation side of this, because when this came out, everybody was talking about how, oh, that means PlayStation is now dead. They're not going to have COD anymore. There's no way they can survive from this. They're going to be gone in the next 5 years. Somebody actually said that on Twitter. I saw that and I laughed at that, because do we really think Sony didn't know this was coming? And do we really think Sony can adapt to this if that does happen? I mean, this is a company that has done a whole lot of adapting ever since they started making video game consoles, ever since they started being in the gaming industry. Here's the thing. With the way that PlayStation's and Microsoft have been buying studios, PlayStation buys talent. Microsoft has been buying IPs. That's pretty much what this has been boiled down to. PlayStation, the studios that they acquire, they have a relationship with them, that they've been working with them before they buy them, because they give them a chance to, make a game, make what they want to make. It comes out, it's amazing, and then they decide to buy the studio. They did that with Insomniac. They did that with Bluepoint. They did that with Housemarque. And I understand this is it is concerning, but I don't think this is the end of PlayStation. I really don't. I think
my thing with PlayStation is they care too much about ratings with their games, which is a huge problem for the game industry, because if you look at the news, apparently to PlayStation, Days Gone didn't do good. So they shot down. What's the team that did Days Gone? I think it was Bluepoint.
And Studio.
And Studio. They shot down their offer to do Days Gone 2 because Sony...
Apparently this was coming from the director. Apparently that wasn't the... How do I want to say this? Apparently this wasn't the higher-ups. It was the local higher-ups. So that didn't even get to the higher-ups. It was the local higher-ups that did not want to do it. But, at some point, those higher-ups would have had to step in. It was a messy situation. The fact that Days Gone 2 did not happen. But now Ben Studios working on a new IP that they are excited about. And if that game comes out and it's absolutely amazing, then that's all right. But it is a shame that we never got a chance to see Days Gone 2, because that was a very popular game for a lot of people, and it sold a whole lot. It probably should have warranted a sequel, but this stuff happens. I mean, we've seen it happen before with other gaming franchises. It's a shame, but hopefully PlayStation learned their lesson from that and they don't ever do that again. But
we'll see.
And there's another factor into this, Deviation Games, because now, Meliodas, have you heard of Deviation?
How's that?
Okay, so this is made up of former Call of Duty developers. So they created their own company and they partnered with PlayStation on an exclusive game for the PlayStation 5. And some news came out on that it could push new boundaries in gaming. It's a AAA title. They've been working on it for like 2 years. I think that's what they said. And it's definitely a title that they are excited about and that they really think could have a big impact on the gaming industry. So that is another thing to keep in mind. And, like I said, Sony had to know this was going on for a while. And maybe Deviation is a part of all of them trying to respond to that. Who knows? Who knows how long this was in development? Because there's no way Microsoft just one day said, hey, we're going to buy Activision for, what was it, $68 billion? $80
billion.
80. Oh my God. You know what's crazy about that? Do you know how much Disney spent on Marvel and Lucasfilm combined?
How much?
$8 billion.
That's because Marvel was. Funny thing is, Marvel was about to go bankrupt, and Lucasfilms. No, listen, Marvel was about to go bankrupt, so they sold Spider-Man to Sony. They sold Spider-Man and all the characters to Sony, but they only sold the movie rights. They never sold the comic book rights. They didn't sell anything else but the movie rights. That's funny.
You know, the crazy part of it is people were saying, well, Sony's been holding back the Spider-Man rights. Here's the thing. Sony never had the video game rights to Spider-Man. It was Marvel's idea for Sony to make a Spider-Man video game. That was Marvel's idea.
You never know. Sony probably said, hey, let me make our own exclusive Spider-Man game for the PlayStation, and we'll let you have Spider-Man and MCU. We never know what
I mean, transpired. that could be it too. But hey, you know, we got two amazing Spider-Man games from Insomniac, and now they're making a Wolverine game. So that's absolutely amazing. Here's the thing. PlayStation still has the better IPs. I know Microsoft has Forza, they have Halo, they have Gears, but you know, Forza's a racing game. That's a little bit of a niche. Halo is now starting to make a comeback after Halo 4 and Halo 5 kind of disappointed gamers, and there is no announced game coming in the Gears series. There's no new game coming in the Gears series that we know of right now. With PlayStation, I mean, you're talking God of War Ragnarok, you're talking Horizon Forbidden West, of course, you have Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, and a bunch of others that they still have not announced. When we talk about PlayStation, they really know how to make a new IP. They always have, they always will. I'm just not concerned that PlayStation is going to be able to compete with Microsoft, even with this buy. To other people that say, well, maybe Sony should buy like Square Enix or Capcom or Konami, I don't think they're ever going to do that. Now, they may partner with those companies on certain games, but I don't think they're ever going to outright buy them or do a merger with them. I just don't think that's what they're going to do, because that's just not what Sony does.
You know what team Microsoft needs to buy?
If you say EA, I'm going to mute you.
No. Ubisoft.
Yeah, people are thinking that maybe Ubisoft will be the next one, because we already know Ubisoft Plus is coming to Game Pass, so that could be one. But by then, you really need to start thinking about, are they starting to build a monopoly? By then, you really got to start thinking, can they do that without getting into trouble with building a monopoly in the gaming industry? That's the question.
Well, Xbox has lots coming exclusives coming out. They got Avowed. What is it, Avowed? They have the Indiana Jones game coming up. Redfall.
Starfield.
Crossfire. Starfield.
I think Elder Scrolls 6 is pretty much an exclusive without it being confirmed.
Rumored to be confirmed exclusive for Microsoft. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, they do have games coming out, and I understand that. Here's the thing: Microsoft still has to prove that they can make quality IPs, because I mean, again, it's been Halo, Gears, Forza, and I just don't know what else at this point.
Perfect Dark. They're doing a Perfect Dark reboot.
That too.
Reboot.
It's nice that they have Bethesda. It's nice that they have Activision. Now, can they put those teams to work and get quality games out of them? That's what they need to prove right now, which Sony has been doing for years. Now they got to prove it. And that's just the thing. I mean, all we can do right now is speculate. And we really got to calm down and realize we're not going to know until we know. And that's going to be the interesting part when we finally figure this out. And again, for those that are worried about PlayStation, don't worry until there is actually something to worry about. And I understand you have Call of Duty, maybe the biggest video game franchise right now, or one of the biggest. But that doesn't mean it could change in the next few years, because as we know, Call of Duty's pretty much been the same every single year. Not much has changed. How much longer are gamers gonna deal with that? We won't know until we know. All right, Meliodas, got any last thoughts on this?
Dying Light 2 is coming out in a couple weeks. Actually, a couple days. Get it.
Not what I meant, but I'll deal with that. All right, guys, this has been another edition of Off Hunting Gaming News. I am Diggs Gaming.
And it's been your boy, Sir Meliodas.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.